This is a Suboptimal podcast. Check out our suboptimal content at suboptimal.co.
All right, everybody, welcome to episode number 7 of 2.5 Weebs. This week we have watched Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans. I think I'm the only one that hasn't seen this.
Yes.
Yes.
This was definitely something I watched when it came out originally.
So did I.
I haven't started watching the newest Gundam show they've got out, but I watched this one.
This is the only Gundam show I've actually proper watched.
Really?
I don't know, maybe
Yeah, just because like none of the other ones really like hooked me. I guess it was all like we're Gundams and we're in space versus this one was like, hey, yo, it's episode 3. That kid just shot a dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was
Yeah, I love that character.
He's great.
He's just a little psychopath. It's great.
It's kind of amazing how much like his what I don't even remember the characters' names, but like he's just so down for whatever his buddy is doing. He's just like, yeah. I'm in. I didn't even explain it to you. Yeah,
Mikazuki. Thank you very much.
It's what now?
Mikazuki.
Is that
these are full on Japanese names? That's
and his buddy's name is Orga.
That's right. That's right. I forgot the names. Sometimes I am forgetful.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Something I could probably see myself keeping up with, maybe. I don't know.
I think that it is just the best Gundam show ever because the entirety of it, start to finish, is like it's not uber predictable. You can't just like walk in and be like, yeah, it's going to be exactly this.
Yes.
Maybe.
Well, let's not. Okay, before we get Dale's opinion on show, let's not talk about stuff that happens later, just in case he doesn't want to keep with this one. What did you think of this, Dale?
I liked it. I didn't think there was anything that really stuck out as something that annoyed me. I was watching it with Kaylee on the couch, and even she was like, yeah, that's not too bad. So, like, that's cool. It's definitely something I could see myself keeping up with it. I did, however, finally download Crunchyroll onto my PS4 so I can watch stuff on my TV now.
Wait,
so, yeah.
Are you telling me that he's actually able to watch anime on his TV now?
I know. It's surprising.
I mean, I was watching it
as the 21st century.
Look, comfy. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
I mean, okay. To be fair, my PS4 is not even hooked up in my room, my office right now.
To be fair, my Xbox just doesn't exist right now. It's just kind of underneath my desk. Like it doesn't even have a power cable for it. It's great.
You could be using that to hold up your monitor,
No, I couldn't, because on all the certain angles, it's like too small or too large. And I would need an extra. I'd need an extra console if I wanted to stack it on top of my PS4 and then stack something else on top of that to hold up the monitor. I know this. I've done the math.
He's tried it, in other words. Back to the topic, though. Yeah, I like this show quite a bit. I have watched a few different other Gundams over the years because I'm old. So I watched these things when they, first came out, when they started showing these things on television, on different things like Teletoon and that, which is a station you guys in the States don't get. Back in the day, they started showing anime on TV, and it was an introduction for a lot of people to different anime. And YTV, which is probably the biggest children's TV show up here, was showing Gundam. They were showing Gundam. They also started showing things like what's the name of that ninja one?
Naruto?
No, it's the movie one that's like really, really uber violent.
I think we
Ninja Scroll.
Attention?
Okay. No, Ninja Scroll. They showed Ninja Scroll on television, unedited.
Didn't you say that was like an incredibly violent, bloody show?
Insanely violent, bloody show that has like sexual assault and stuff in it. Yeah, it's Children's Network.
That's
by
what
the
I
way.
want my kids to be watching.
And it's not like this was like super like Teletoon was weird back in the day. Like they'd show like kids shows like early in the morning, and then throughout the day it would the type of programming would get progressively older. And then once you hit like 9, 10 o'clock, it would go straight full adult cartoons, which was
Oh man, fucking
real
9
different.
o'clock's coming up, boys.
Like real different. So I mean, but this is back in the day when you could get things like they were showing like things like Fitz the Cat on TV and things, and Wizards on TV, which are adult cartoons from the 70s, which are bordering on pornographic in places. So TV back
I
then
mean,
was a little weird.
I've seen Ren and Stimpy. I know borders on pornographic in places.
God,
Yeah, that's another
Yeah.
thing from up here. You're welcome. So
I don't remember thanking you, but thank you anyways.
so yeah, so they used to show like Gundam full on television, and so that's where I was first kind of introduced to it.
Mhm.
But this is probably the best Gundam show I've seen, because it doesn't require like a lot of the other shows require something of like the Gundam universes and stuff like that. This one was like, nah, like if this is your first one, dive right in. So I really liked that quite a bit. That was easy to get into. The characters were interesting. It was not always expected, like what was going to happen.
So here's a question: as someone who's watched other Gundam shows, like
Yep.
I don't actually know the degree at which this connects to other shows, but I've been told that it is the most standalone.
Almost
Gundam
completely
show.
standalone. This show, yeah.
Like it mentions some certain things that happen in universe, but
It does, but that's the thing with the Gundam shows is that a lot of it, even when they're like stand apart from other shows, is that the basic structure of like the universe and what has happened in the past is always the same. It's
Mhm.
always like, there was a war between Earth and the colonies, and
generally Earth won.
yeah, and then generally Earth would win, which would actually make sense. Um,
Mhm.
they started building, giant mechs to fight each other. Then some guys developed these things known as Gundams, which are super powerful mechs. And they use
Bigger
them
and better mechs than your mechs.
and they use them to win the war, or like and fight back against Earth's tyranny against the colonies. And
Yeah,
blah,
because
blah, blah.
Earth is always the bad guy in Gundam shows.
Yes.
Oh.
Earth is always like
That's cool.
always the bad guy.
How many like
When they put a
planets?
spin on it, so they're corporations on Earth.
How many planets have been like colonized?
depends on the show.
Okay.
This one is like Mars. Is
yeah,
like
this
the
one is
first
Mars,
one.
and there's some outer like stuff in the outer rims kind of stuff.
Yeah, and you
Um,
like are introduced to different areas as well later. Like you're introduced to like this is like the Deep Space Mafia ring, and it's like if you look over to your left, you'll see another deep space planet.
Yeah,
but it's for the most part the only main players in this show is Earth and Mars. So
Huh. Okay.
mhm.
So I was very surprised to see like the thing that they inject into the back. Not the,
oh yeah, that is new.
The Vinyanya system.
That's new. That wasn't in the other Gundam
Yeah, that's
shows.
a new.
That's
a
a
new
this
thing.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a thing from this one. It's to give people better control over the mechs. So that was a surprising thing for me as well.
But they
'cause
talked about it being like old technology from when they first started
Yes.
doing it.
So the interesting thing about this world is that they mention a lot of history, a backstory that like there is this previous war
That
between Earth and
doesn't
the
fucking
colonies.
matter.
That Gundams were used to fight back then. But none of that is connected to the other shows. It's not history from the other shows at all. It's just because they've made so many versions of Gundam shows that with this one, they knew how to build a backstory that was believable and that kind of alluded to like other shows, but is not actually from them. And that's what they did here. There's a huge backstory they probably have written out somewhere that they just kind of refer to the whole time.
We just had like a lore book for it.
Yeah. But the show is like where it starts is where that universe actually begins. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious. Like, I doubt they'll go back and build on it. Like give us like the backstory of what's occurred previously in that universe, because that's not really something they do. But I would be curious to see it.
I think they might, like, if they ever pick it up and continue the story, because
Mm,
they've left off the story, which, like, this show is one of my, like, gold standards for, like, how you start and finish a show.
yes.
Because they started the show with there was nothing there. They gave you hints of backstory. They finished the show with a satisfying ending that you don't see coming, that you can also like still build on. Like, they could
Yes.
continue it.
Yeah.
In the same way, like the original, like, Return of the Jedi for Star Wars ends in a satisfactory point that if it's the end of the world, then everybody's happy.
Yeah, it
But
makes sense where they end the show.
Yeah.
But that said, fans were not super pleased with what happens.
At the end of this show?
I mean,
It makes sense.
I mean, yeah.
It makes sense, but people were a little upset. Just because of the outcomes. Now, I don't want to spoil anything because this is definitely a show I recommend. I recommend you watch it all the way through.
Yes.
The ending is definitely worth seeing for yourself, so we don't really want to mention it. There's only 2 seasons, so it's not that super long of a show to watch through.
50 episodes.
Yeah, 50 episodes. There's 25 episodes
Total.
per season.
Okay.
Only the
but-
first season is dubbed, though.
Yeah. So if you don't mind watching subtitles,
I hate it.
but it's definitely a worth watch. Like, the story is very interesting. The characters are super well written. Everything moves at a really good pace.
Okay.
Second season starts off a little slow, but it makes sense. So because they have to kind of go through some stuff. But the show is definitely good. Definitely recommend. If you're looking for a good mech show with some interesting characters, it's definitely a watch.
It's very, very good. I like it a lot.
So I have there. I missed some things about what is it? CEC? Whatever the corporation was, that a company that they were working for?
So yeah, so they were mercenaries.
So they worked for a mercenary company, and then they end up
Okay.
forming their own mercenary company.
Is that what that was? A mercenary company? Okay,
Yes.
I gotcha.
Which is kind of common for this type of stuff. And then your other thing they like end up running into is a government body.
Yes. Okay. And that was the
Gallahorn.
yeah,
Gallahorn.
and they
Yeah, they're a
invaded because
body
they
of the
wanted the
government.
like because they get
Their job
hired
is-
to take the Mars princess to Earth to negotiate, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then so Gallahorn decides that they're gonna kidnap the Mars princess, and
Well, she's a politician, not so much a princess, but yeah.
well, they call her a princess, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah, but
She's-
these are also like kids.
That's true. Okay.
They call her that because they don't really have anything better to refer to her as, but she is just a politician. Like, she doesn't really have.
She is not outstanding or unique in any way.
No. She's a politician
Okay.
who's trying to broker peace between and a better life for Martians with Earth, because they've been kind of
Boned.
yeah, they've been kind of suppressed as a people since the rebellion, because Mars was one of the places that people rebelled. So Earth's government was basically like, okay, we're gonna have to make sure you don't do this again, and kind of, put the boot on their throat kind of thing, to make sure that the colonies didn't rebel and start another war.
Yeah. And then you have all of your good friends over at the child mercenary school who, for some reason, they thought that beating children and then giving them guns in that order was a good idea.
Yeah, let's build super amounts of resentment, then teach these kids to be remorseless killers. This seems fine. It will be no problem for us who keep beating them afterwards.
I also love
Mistreating
the
them.
mentality of, like, they're finally like, they shoot somebody who's like, wait, if you give us the gun, we'll only make sure you don't eat dinner. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's like,
Why do you think you're in charge right now?
if you do what we say, even though you have a gun pointed at our heads, we'll only make you skip supper.
Yeah, it's like, what? That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. You don't win this fight. but I do like rewatching it. Like I forgot about all the character development that happens over time too.
Yeah, there's a lot of character development.
How much did you rewatch? Did you just watch the first three?
I
But
watched it, but I had a perspective of somebody who had just watched the last episode.
okay.
So I'm
you
watching
could-
through it,
yeah.
and I'm like, that character changes completely. That person is completely unrecognizable.
I see.
Like looking at it in a different perspective. And so that was like looking at it, I was like, wow, I need to finish rewatching this show.
Now, did you only watch the first 3 episodes, Dale?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I watched. Not that I wouldn't have kept watching it. It's just
It's been a busy week. Yeah.
I went to bed. I was tired. I was exhausted. Yeah. With the whole
it has been a busy week.
I was swamped
Well,
all week.
there's been a big game launch. There's you setting up your whole dual system.
Oh yeah, that was not at all stressful and frustrating, and it went flawlessly and it worked perfectly the first time, and I didn't want to rip anybody's hair out.
It sounds like it went flawlessly and perfectly the first time, and you didn't want to rip anybody's hair out.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yep. No, I honestly, yeah, for the most part, I guess it's pretty okay. I'm not actually able to output 60 FPS on it, but that's okay.
Right.
Hoping
Well, it's
to.
an older system, so
It's not old. I guess it is.
processor's older.
Processor is the only thing limiting me. Like the GPU
Yes.
is perfect for a streaming rig, but like the
Yes,
CPU
it is. It's just your processors.
CPU's
Of
kind of
older ones,
bottlenecking it, but no big deal. I'm able to put 30 output really easy, and then I have the whole convenience of the 2 PC.
Well, a lot of people can't watch a stream in 60 anyways.
Yeah? Okay.
A lot of people's internet sucks.
Yeah, that's why I was not going to try to do 1080, because anytime I'm on shoddy internet and somebody outputs 1080, and
Yeah,
then
you
if
can't
they
watch
don't
it.
have Mixer Pro, which allows you to, like, it allows people to downscale it a little bit more, it gives you more downscaling options, or if you're a partner, you get more downscaling options. So it's either 1080 or 480.
Yeah.
Well, no big deal. 480 is still fine to watch a stream in, but, like, it'd be nice to
I
have
find
that
480
720
super
option.
rough, personally, but
I mean, it's not ideal by any means, but, like, it's whatever.
yeah, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know. I like putting out 720.
So have you guys been playing any Anthem?
What is that? Never heard of it.
The game that's getting all the shit on social media everywhere.
Yeah.
Dude, there is I love the shitstorm so much.
Oh, it's such a giant shitstorm. Like, it's not even a small shitstorm; it's a giant shitstorm.
So Polygon wrote out an article about how to equip a new piece of gear in Anthem.
Will not know how to do this.
Why though?
No. It was to prove a point. It was 100% to prove a point. And so the way that
Okay.
the article goes is, all right, so I'm finally in my mission. This is step 5. I shoot somebody until a giant glowy like geometric shape comes out. And then I pick it up. And then I need to quit. So I get a load screen. Then I have to load through all my feats, which is a load screen. Then I need to go to the forge, which is a load screen. Then once I'm in the forge, I need to equip it. Then I need to leave the forge, which is a load screen. Then I need to select the new place to go, which is a load screen. Then I need to get there, which is a load screen. And then I need to shoot my gun 3 times to realize I don't like it, and I need to do all that again to get my old gun back on.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not perfect by any means.
Now, I mean,
I
you
do,
can go
however,
right
like
to the
that-
forge from the ending screen of a mission.
Yes,
though.
but it's
Yeah.
a load screen.
It is a load
but
screen.
it
Yeah.
is one last load screen. Like, and the thing is, as much as people are complaining that it's got load screens everywhere. Well, one,
It's fun as hell.
it's fun as hell, and 2,
It's a very fun game.
A lot of other games have load screens like this. People
Yes.
tend to forget that. Like Destiny, like I see a lot of people going, well, Destiny doesn't have load screens. I'm like, it fucking well.
course it
has
does.
Load screens.
That's
You
the
fucking
ships. The ships are there to give you something to look at load screens. That's the point of the
that's
ships.
all they're there. That's the point of the ship. And
Yeah.
load screens can be super long.
Oh yeah, they can.
I mean,
Although it
were
annoys
Anthem's
me.
load screens kind of long? Sure. Did they fix that with a patch? Yes.
Mostly.
Yeah,
They're still a little long. I don't know how long they are in consoles. So for any console players out
I
there
don't
who are
know.
suffering under it, I don't know.
I saw a lot of console players saying, "Hey, I want to buy an SSD for my console."
An SSD definitely helps. I don't know what it's like to run off a non-SSD. I don't have any non-SSD storage in my computer.
Yeah, good for you. I run mine on a normal pleb hard drive because I only have a very small solid state, which I could put the game on, but I probably.
But you don't find any problems running off a normal hard drive, do you?
No. It's I mean, sure, it's a long load screen. I actually might have a lot more room on my SSD now because I got rid of. Well, actually, I haven't gotten rid of it yet. I haven't gotten rid of it yet. It still exists. Like I have some space I could clear though.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like the load screens are a little long, but when it loads in the map, it loads in the whole map, and the map is really big. So I expect the load screen for like loading into anything to be kind of large based on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, they could do more things to optimize it. We know this.
And I expect them to do so. I don't expect like
this isn't the end product. This isn't as far as we're going.
No,
they haven't thrown in the towel.
This is a game as a service. They are going to offer improvements throughout. They put out a comprehensive schedule for upcoming content, which is quite big. It only covers the first 3 months. They didn't go past that point yet, just because doing a whole year is a little silly. So, but what is coming out is quite a lot, and I know people have been saying like, well, there's not much to do. I finished the story in like 20 hours. Okay, show me a shooter, and this really isn't a straight shooter that has a story that's longer than 20 hours.
And not only that, but like with side quests and end game stuff,
and stuff. There's story stuff after the main story.
I'm at end game. I haven't finished all the story quests yet.
I haven't either.
Like, there's still. Well, I finished the story quests. I haven't finished all the side quests and like optional more quest lines.
There's the thing. More of them keep coming up as you go farther along in the end game too.
You're further ahead than me, and you haven't finished.
No, I haven't finished. I've gotten
that's pretty cool.
A new storyline that just came up recently between a couple of different characters. Yeah, like I just started it, so there's a lot of stuff there that I think people are missing with their, quote reviews that they've been doing on the game. I saw some reviews come out before the game officially launched, which means they came out before the day one patch was out, which is an interesting way to do a review. Yes, there is an early access period for the game, but pretty much everybody who went and played the early access version, for the week, was there, knew that they were missing the big day one patch.
Yes.
Which is, for anybody who knows what, games are like nowadays, is a big deal. Those patches can be quite large. This one was 6 gigabytes. That's a large patch.
There's also been a 4 gigabyte patch since then as well. There's been 2 separate patches totaling like 10 gigs of updates.
Yep. And they were to fix things like bugs. Yep. They also did the 6 gigabyte patch, the day one patch, also altered how some of the menus and stuff look and work, just to make it easier on people, because that was a thing that people had requested. So they were like, okay, we'll do that for you.
There was a patch this morning as well.
Yeah, there was I think it was for stability stuff. Like, it was a very
really?
patch.
Oh, I haven't fired it up today. I was doing.
Mine took like 10 minutes to install.
Oh, I was doing
that bad, my download speed is really high. I don't share it. Like, you're a
humble brag.
Well, Comfy also lives in a dorm, right? He's got to share his stuff. His connection
is
going to be
fun sharing.
Yeah,
especially with people who set off my fire alarm while it's raining and freezing outside. Love you guys.
That was the thing that happened to Comfy this week.
Yeah, that was a really big. Yeah, that really sucked. That was a killer stream, and
that was a super good and super fun stream with a lot of cool people.
Yep.
and it ground to a halt.
But thankfully,
Because-
your chat behaved for the thing, so that was nice. Though.
They
Yeah.
did not. I watched.
For the most part, they behaved.
For the most part. Doesn't mean they're behaving.
But yeah, I will admit, I'm a little disappointed with the lack of what's the word? Strongholds. There's only 3,
Yes.
which I
There's
know.
only 3.
I feel like there should be a lot more than that, especially considering one is literally the final mission.
Yeah, the
Of the
one
game.
stronghold is the final mission of the game.
Yeah.
However, I will say that as soon as you stick that up to GM1 and higher, those become basically mini raids. They are extremely difficult and challenging.
I
But-
mean,
which is-
Strongholds
there's
is
still
what
only
BioWare
3.
was talking about
They
with
still
when they
don't
said
take very
raids.
long.
Kind of, yes. Now they are coming out with another one.
Yes,
Good.
at the end of March.
April.
Okay.
It comes out in April,
Okay.
which is fine. I mean, adding a new and like a large scale raid like encounter, what, a month basically, 2 months at most.
I wouldn't
depending on what
compare
month,
this to a
what
large
league
scale
comes
raid
out.
like encounter at all.
Well,
This
some of them
is-
are like they have 3 basic steps. There's not as many as mechanics as some raids, but not every game has as many mechanics as things like WoW and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Um,
but
But if you're looking at something to compare to, which is difficult because there's not quite a game like Anthem in the market. If you want to look at
Yeah.
Destiny, which is not to say this game is similar to Destiny or Destiny is
Are
similar
you
to this.
comparing Anthem to Destiny?
No.
I
it's
mean,
just the
you
only
can
other-
compare them in the sense that they're the same genre. That's about
They're
it.
in the same. Yeah, it's pretty much one of the only games you have in the same genre. It's really the only place we can look for comparisons. Now, Destiny
I mean,
has.
there's other.
raids.
You can compare it to Division
would compare-
and Warframe as well because they're all in the same genre.
Yes. Now,
Warframe is the closest place to compare it to.
I would feel.
yes,
I feel
but
like
Warframe
that's
doesn't really have
true.
raids.
I said it's the closest place.
Kind of
It's
thing,
still
yeah.
not close.
If we're gonna look at something that has like kind of like a raid like structure, we should look at Destiny. It has those types of things. I would compare strongholds in here to
Right.
the shorter. No, I wouldn't say strikes. They're a little longer than strikes and a little more complex. Some strikes are very very simple and you can run past a lot of the stuff that's in them.
I mean,
you
you
can't
can run
really do
past a
that
lot of
here.
stuff.
I would say it's
in-
more like Crota's End. They're about the same
So a
length of time.
strike.
Yeah,
I'd
it.
say
That
a
didn't
longer,
really help.
more difficult
That
strike.
didn't help your
has-
case any, Copper. Like you can totally run through the bad guys in some of the.
In some of them, yes.
Yeah, I
well,
mean,
you can't in the first one, which is Tyrant Mine. You can't run past it because there are stop points.
Yes.
The second one, the Scar one, you definitely can, which I think they should fix personally. There's like 2 rooms you can just literally just run through.
I mean, you can
because
run
there's no
through
stop point.
a big chunk of the Tyrant Mine as well. In between the when is it?
Well, you can
Uh,
run through the passages,
Yeah,
right? But
which
that's
granted
not the
is not
same
a
as
giant
the-
room, but it's still a good.
It's
chunk
not the same
you
as
can
the
run
Temple
through.
of Scar, no, because the Temple of
No,
Scar, it's
it's
literally
not.
2 encounter rooms that you can actually just kind of walk through before it stops you. Which is something, as I said, I think they should adjust for that. Because it's obviously the way that's set up. Those rooms are set up that they wanted people to do the fights in those rooms, and there's literally no reason to.
Right.
That said, though, the strongholds are insanely fun. Even the last one, where it's basically the last mission of the game.
I
They're
mean,
good.
yeah,
They're fun.
but there's I don't know, there's not enough variety there.
There's not, but if you look at, again, in the genre, let's look at Division and let's look at Destiny. They're the other 2 games in the genre, right?
Uh-huh.
When Destiny launched, how many raids did it have?
How many
Endgame?
raids? It
How
had
many
one
raids did
raid.
Endgame- Yeah.
Do you know
There
how many
was
strikes it
there was a
didn't- it didn't
handful
have
of
a raid.
strikes. There was also
But if-
PvP, and I'm not saying Anthem needs PvP. Don't throw that
No,
at me.
it definitely doesn't need PvP.
But there was
this
more
game is not
content
balanced
at
around that.
Endgame there. I got
There's
pretty
a
much what I
little more.
expected.
Now,
There's significantly more, I feel like.
Okay. See, the thing is, though, you're completely discounting, and this is the part. You're completely discounting the story, which Anthem is using their story and their story missions
the
as
story is much
replayable
better.
features. Destiny also did that, but Destiny's story was shit.
Yeah.
Anthem's story missions are, in general, longer.
Yep.
There's more to do, and they're more difficult than a Destiny story mission. I know this. I replayed the Destiny story recently. Those story missions are like 5 minutes long, and then there's a lot of dialogue that explains why there can't be dialogue.
Yeah, like the strongholds aren't. I wouldn't say they're like strikes. They're more like Proto's End. Proto's End is kind of like a strike, but it is longer and more difficult. So I would compare them to that. They're a small 3-man difficult activity. The end game legendary contracts can be more like strikes, because some of them are exceedingly difficult to do, and some of them are much easier. Now that said, Anthem as a game has way more end game content than the Division launched with, because it launched with diddly shit.
It launched with the Dark Zone. That's it.
And that was it.
I mean, there was the daily missions that you could repeat every day for rewards. That was basically just all the story missions again, though.
Yes.
So there was that, but there was reasons to log in and do daily activities.
There were, and
well, I mean, there's still reasons to do that in Anthem.
Yeah. I wasn't saying there wasn't. I was just, but yeah.
Weird.
I don't know. I still feel like
I would say that it launched with a decent amount of end game content, considering their post-launch update schedule, because that is something you have to look at. Because when people look at games like this, they're like, well, it doesn't have any stuff here. When's the next stuff, like endgame stuff, coming out? 3 months from now?
I understand.
No, in this case, it's 2 weeks, right? They start doing the stuff in like 2 weeks after launch, which is...
We're already in the second public event.
Yes. And then they launch public events, world events pretty quickly. So, did they include as much endgame content stuff as people would have liked?
No.
They will, never include enough.
No, that's the thing. They'll never. There's no game that'll ever launch with enough stuff for the end game that people are going to be happy with and go, well, I don't need anything more. I have enough.
No, it's never going to happen.
They did learn that from the Division, from Destiny 2, that having an update schedule that's aggressive and comes out quickly is something that's required for this type of game.
Yeah,
and that's what they're going to be delivering on. They're adding in more story missions. They're adding in more strongholds, more world events, a large-scale alterings of the world map and events known as cataclysms. They're adding in new gear, new abilities, stuff like that, new weapons. That's all stuff they've announced that are coming out. In addition to that, there's a crap ton of stuff that's up on the schedule that's basically redacted information. So there's a bunch of surprises for us coming as well. So to say that the game doesn't have enough to do is not really
accurate.
True.
I mean, it is true though, because you have to look at what
the thing
has come out at launch. Granted, yes, I understand that they're being very aggressive with things coming out in the near future.
Also remember that we're not your standard gamers. We spend way too much time in comparison to most people gaming.
Right? I understand.
I just want to point out that for some reason, we have all decided to look past the fact that they gave us Endgame in the middle of the story. They are giving you plenty of things to do. The problem isn't things to do. The problem is reasons to do them. There is a lot that they have thrown our way in terms of there's a lot of story missions, there's a lot of endgame quests, to the point that we haven't finished them yet. Like when Destiny 1 or even Destiny 2 came out, by this time the next week, I was max power level and I had done all of the endgame stuff. And I haven't reached that yet. My big issue is that a lot of the endgame weapons and stuff appear to just be, and they are, just different versions of weapons that we already have.
Yes, there are not very many guns in this game. I would say that.
That's one of my big worries, but even then, that's not the end of the world.
I was worried about guns being boring, because I was getting epics as I was progressing through like the story and like the blues, and I was like, these don't feel any different at all. They all seem really boring. And then I got a couple, not even legendaries, just masterworks. And I was like, oh, this gun literally lights people on fire.
Yes,
That's cool. And this gun
tried that
freezes
gun yet.
people. That's cool.
I haven't gotten that gun at all.
It's cool. I put it on my ranger. My ranger runs around with 2 primers or 2 detonators, and then basically 3 primers with his lightning melee, his fire assault rifle, and then his ice sniper rifle. And then I'm just constantly triggering combos. It's pretty
nice.
Getting my combo or getting my alt back pretty quick.
For those who are wondering, this game has a combo system in it for when you're dealing damage. So some of your abilities will have be marked as primers. So if you use it on an enemy, it will quote prime the enemy. And if you use a different ability or someone else you're playing with, because this game has matchmaking for everything in it, which is a kudos
which
to
is
them.
Nice.
So this is something that people have complained about in other games before. So
there's no reason for the Nightfall to not be match made. Thanks, Bungie.
Yep. There you go. So if someone else uses an ability called a detonator, or yourself, it will proc what is known as a combo. Combos will...
First off, it deals a ton of damage.
It deals a bunch of extra damage, and depending on what class you're playing as for your javelin, has an additional effect. So it's actually a really neat combat system that's really, really fun, and allows for a lot of different builds. And if you're playing with people regularly, like an actual team rather than just matchmaking, you can actually, build your team up around the abilities. And one guy has all primers, one guy just detonates stuff for the team, things like that. There's also a bunch of different elemental effects and things. So there's a lot of customization in this game, and a lot like Diablo, where your weapons and stuff have random rolls on them for like different stat bonuses. That's also present in the game too. So there's a lot of min-maxing in this game. So if that's something that interests people, this is something that might pique your interest. But yeah, the hate the game is getting, it really doesn't deserve. It really, really doesn't. Does it have flaws? Sure. Are they going to make those flaws better? Yes, we've already seen them doing so. The devs have actually been super responsive to the fan base.
They've been very good about responding immediately. Like I'm not doing this game any favors when I talk about it. I'm very clearly talking about what is wrong with the game and what needs to be fixed.
Yes.
And I'm fine with that because, like, for the most part so far, we've only gotten like really good responses from BioWare.
Yeah, anytime people
like
bring up actual
issues,
criticism and issues to them, they look at it and go, "Yep, you're right. We're going to fix that," and the fix comes out pretty quick. So they're doing their job, as people like to tell devs to go and do their job. Like, why don't you fix this? Like, why does it take 3 months? Like, I don't think that's ever going to be the case here, unless of course they run into like a bug that's just really difficult to fix, because some of them are, because programming is a bitch and you can never quite tell with things. So, but yeah, this is going to be a really good game. It's going to be one I stick with for a while. Will I eventually run out of shit to do? Sure. But that happens with all of these games. Like, I ran into shit to do in Borderlands. I ran into shit to do in The Division 1, in Destiny 1, in Destiny 2. That's just kind of the thing that happens. Eventually you consume all the content.
It doesn't make it not a good game.
No, it doesn't. No. I got what I pretty much expected out of Anthem, which is it's a good game for them to build off of for the future, which is what they're doing. And they're going to be doing it quickly, which is good.
Which is great.
But at the same time, I can't help but be a little critical that there's only 3 things, which sucks. I don't know.
I just want to point out, DocDot says like all looter shooters at launch. Just because every looter shooter that has come out has been bad at launch doesn't mean that every looter shooter that comes out at launch will be bad. That is a development problem. That is not a issue with the genre.
No, it's not. And to be fair, Anthem has less issues on launch than some other games did. So developers are learning their lessons.
I don't disagree, Doc, in chat, that it is not a good game base to
it's a
build
great
upon.
game
I feel like
build a base upon.
they still could have had more at launch. I feel like
They could have, but again, game development, you only have so long for your game development cycle.
I'm aware.
and,
I know, but still.
Then it has to be pushed out. So
Well, so I'm 100% convinced that this game was supposed to be delayed and EA pushed it because they wanted out before Division 2.
Bro,
100% convinced.
I agree with you completely.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I feel that BioWare probably would have liked this game to be delayed 4 months to a year. And
I think 4 months probably would have been fine. Like the game is very close to release.
yeah, it's very, very, very polished game in a lot of respects. It just needs a little more endgame stuff, which is part of the reason I think we're seeing such a quick.
That's one of my criticisms. I think we're seeing a lot of content being pushed very early because it was supposed to be in the finished game.
Yeah, because it was almost ready.
I think that the tomb step in the middle of the game only exists so that people with 10-hour trials can't get any further.
That might have been a thing. I think it served two bases. I think the original concept for that step was to get people to go play quick play and free roam, rather, because a lot of people at that point when you get a new game, the last thing you're going to do usually is go play in the open space, right? Usually you're going to work through the story, especially where it's a BioWare game. People love BioWare games for story. So I think that step is to show people, basically everybody, hey, look, there is something aside from just doing story here. There's this free roam thing. We can just kind of go explore the world and collectibles and that. I'm sorry if anybody hears clicking. My dog is trying to take a nap under my desk. So I think that's what the original step was for. And then I think EA came in and said, hey, we're going to be doing a trial here. We don't want everybody to eat through the whole story and no-life it. Because technically, if you did none of the side missions and you just tried to run through the story as fast as you could possibly make it through in 10 hours, depending on how good of a player you are. So I think
you'd have to be man-moding it, though.
You would, but you'd also have people do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, I'm the kind of person that would do that. You're the kind of person that would do that.
Yes.
Like, it wouldn't be unheard of for us to, like, just be like, yeah, we're gonna blow through all the content immediately.
Yeah, because that's something we do as the type of gamers we are. Now, will your average person who gets this game, and plays, 2-3 hours a night, because that's what their life allows them to do for gaming, for indulging their hobbies and, unwinding and relaxing, will they blow through this story super quick and this game super quick and all of its content for min-maxing and stuff like that? Oh, God, no. I think your average person who sits down to play this game and, plays 2 to 3 hours a night is probably going to be just about done with the story and the side missions and, getting their character to a masterwork state, maybe with a few legendaries by the time the new stuff starts to drop.
Mm-hmm.
And then, every week they can come back and do a little more new stuff that's out, stuff like that. I think that was basically the concept that they had there. Could the game have used a few more months in development? Sure.
Yes. Every game can use more months.
Yes. Every game can use more time in development, honestly. It's just like saying, oh, games shouldn't launch with bugs. Well, games are going to launch with bugs.
What if it's like a Bugs Life video game?
Yeah, well, and I see people saying, well, first player games, like single player games, don't launch with this many bugs. Sure, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Some of them do. Yeah, some of them do. It's like, sure.
No,
sure
that's a bullshit argument. That's
it is.
I know it's a bullshit argument. That's why I'm saying, sure, they don't. That's sarcasm. But that also said, single player games also do not have to deal with things such as network code and things like that, right? They're not online games. They're not dealing with multi players all at the same time, things like that. So there's less issues to look at as well. So people saying that a game shouldn't, a full price game shouldn't launch with bugs have no concept of what game development is. The more complex games get, the more bugs they're going to have, because that's just what programming is like for anything. Like, did you think anything launches perfectly with no bugs? No.
Yes.
Like, hell, I have Netflix crash every so often because Netflix screws up. Like, it's just a thing.
Are you insinuating that not every game is perfect and that development is a messy cycle that is perpetrated by publishers pushing games out before they are ready? And in doing so, we create a toxic games industry with products that the consumers are not happy with, created by creators who are not happy with their current work conditions?
Yeah.
Wow. Incredible.
I know. And people think, well, the devs don't care. I assure you, one, the devs care more than you do about their game, and know what its flaws are more than you do about your game. About their game.
One of the most common sayings in the games industry as a whole is you are only as good as your last game.
Yep. And it doesn't matter who you are.
No, it does not. That is good old Jeff Kaplan, our hero, who made Overwatch single-handedly with blood, sweat, and tears.
That's how people treat Jeff. Yeah,
he was talking about it on the the documentary about Overwatch, where they're talking about making it. He was super fucking depressed because they made Project Titan, which ended up being like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, there's
it wasn't even bad. That like they just canceled it. They're like, this isn't what we want to make.
They couldn't find the fun in it. That's what they said.
Yes,
why? Because games of this genre, and they were 100% making a game in this genre.
They were. It was actually a looter shooter.
Couldn't get the thing to work. That's how difficult looter shooters are. Blizzard, the game company that people are like, oh, they can make anything they want.
No, not anymore.
Not anymore. Are you fucking kidding me?
Couldn't get this thing to work.
Blizzard's a dead company.
That's not how Blizzard is anymore.
No, it's not.
Yep.
I do want to point out that I am playing against probably the dumbest person I've ever played against in Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, Blizzard, the mobile gaming company.
The mobile game company Blizzard, because that's 100% what they're going to end up being.
That's a good joke, Doc. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, my chat is broken, and I don't know why, so you can't see chat. I apologize. Not my fault, but it might be my fault. I don't think it's my fault. Also, I just got an email from Team Anchor that 2.5 Weebs is now on Apple.com, so iTunes.
Oh, nice. We're on Apple.
We're on iTunes.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Cool. Yeah.
Cool. I would love to see what our metrics are across the board for this. I know that's not interesting to people watching, but yeah, I don't expect them huge, but I'm still curious. I need to talk to my buddy.
How do I'm trying to figure out how I can share that with you without like sending you my login.
Screenshot it.
That's a good point. I could do that. I could very much.
I don't really need
this dumb motherfucker
for things.
Oh no. Yeah, but no, Blizzard is not a good gaming company anymore.
No, not since
we've all had to like sit down and actually understand this, because Blizzard is a company that we've all held near and dear to our hearts. I know I used to play the original Warcraft in internet cafes. I was never big on the StarCraft. But I was big on Overwatch. I tried WoW for periods of time. Diablo was always fun. It's really sad to see a development company that you've liked and cared about and supported for years just go down the drain because they care more about a quick buck.
Yep, that's how it
Hello,
works.
Activision.
I didn't stutter. I'll be real, I didn't see it happening with Blizzard. I thought that they were better than that.
Well, there's the thing. Activision bought a big stake in the company, which means they get a big stake in how things are made. And Activision
and Blizzard are now the same company. It's Activision Blizzard now.
Yep, and that's how big of a stake they bought.
Exactly.
And Activision has only ever cared about
money.
Profit and
the bottom line.
A quick turnaround for money as well. They're not somebody who wants to sit around and build something that takes 5-10 years to get this huge massive following. They want a quick turnaround time on all their investments, which is understandable for a business. But that being said, it's not great on the consumer end, especially where Blizzard is known for not caring if they
fucking us over.
a few years to really something to really pick up or or support stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I don't hold my breath for it being a super good thing.
I wish that they would be able to get their shit together, but with Activision's dirty hands in this, hashtag not sponsored but willing.
No, I will not be sponsored by it. I don't know.
2.5 Weebs is open to sponsorship and compensation from Activision Blizzard, a game development company that cares about the players. So Activision has their dirty hands in this, and they obviously don't care about the players. And I think that's where we're going to be for the next while. We're not going to get a good Call of Duty game that's not focused around loot boxes. And for some reason, so the big news this week with Call of Duty, I don't know if either of you two saw this because it's a thing. Activision added loot boxes to Call of Duty this week.
Yeah, the game that already has like full price game
seen
and
it coming?
a season pass.
It is so let's break this down, all right, guys. This is a $60 game, full price.
Yep.
With a $50 season pass.
Yep.
With a battle pass that you can pay to skip levels.
Oh, I forgot about that.
With in-game loot boxes for loot. With in-game consumables that'll make you play better in like zombies and stuff.
Oh,
that you can pay for.
Oh, don't forget they sell the Red Dot site.
And the horse armor.
Yes.
No, horse armor is Bethesda.
Anybody who gets that, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's the joke, Dale.
But like, there's so many microtransactions on top of, like, the thing is too, Black Ops 4 is not a bad game.
No,
it's not.
Blackout was the king of BRs until Apex came out, which is make it free to play and better, and nobody will compete. And then like Zombies had a really rough start, but now it has like potential to be the best Zombies experience ever, and they're kind of just not.
Yeah, that's kind of what they do. They kind of just not.
And like, it's easy to blame it all on Activision. There is definitely some Treyarch going on there, though, which makes me sad. But like, god damn, they've ruined everything. And you go back a couple years and you're like, wow, this Call of Duty Advanced Warfare has loot boxes that make you better at the game in PvP. This doesn't seem fair. And you know what they said? If you don't like it, don't buy it. And now here we are.
What was the what made you better in PvP for the loot box?
So what it was in Advanced Warfare, and this was a huge issue when it came out, was there were loot boxes that gave you guns that were like one-time use guns that had stat boosts on them.
Yeah.
Randomized stat boosts. So you can pull like a gold gun that's got super amazing ultra power boosts on it.
And you can use it for one game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that one game you can deal like twice as much damage or whatever bullshit you get on it.
That is actually pay to win.
Because they had some really strong buffs on those guns too.
Which is really scummy because not only is it completely unfair for anybody who's randomly matched against you, or if you get matched against someone like that, but on the end of someone who's got one, now you've used this overwhelmingly powerful thing, you feel like a god, and then it's gone, so your next game you feel like shit. So what's the encouragement to do? Go spend money to get more of them.
What's funny too is Activision trademarked a little while back. We don't have any proof of them using it, but they trademarked the system where if you bought a skin or like a consumable, like a gun, and then you went to play that, like use that. So say I bought like a sniper skin, right?
Yep.
We'll use like Apex for the like, oh looky here. So assume I buy a sniper skin. And then I put on like my Kraber skin in Apex. Then it will match me in a game that will have a map and enemies that are weak to snipers because it tracks all that shit. They know how good you are against snipers. they match you in that game, and then when you win, then you feel like your money was spent wisely because you just did well with that sniper.
What?
Which is
I didn't read that
stupid.
article. Was it the same one talking about how they were going to start putting, like, there was one where they came up with the technology to add a buy it now for like kill cams?
No, that might be it. Here, I'll be right.
Is it
It's
the
the same
different
technology.
article?
It's in the same technology they.
Okay, all right. Because I remember seeing
'Cause-
that where it's like, yeah,
Because you'll be matched when you get a sniper, stuff like that, right? What they'll do is they'll match you against people who are really good with snipers and skins, and with your kill cam, it'll show you them killing you with it, and you'll be like, "Oh, it must be the weapon that's killing me. It's this powerful weapon," and be like, "Hey, you can buy it here, like right now. Just press this button."
yeah. Yep.
So it was one of like 3 technologies they developed.
Man, I
All
remember
of
when
them
DLC
are
used to
based
be.
around psychological manipulation, and they're from a standpoint of marketing and really getting into the heads of people and technology wise, they're brilliant. From a standpoint of the consumer, they're the
Yeah, it's bad.
scuzziest shit I have ever seen, and I
Yep.
work for a living in marketing.
You remember
It's
when DLCs
so
and shit
bad.
used to be an afterthought, like where they would think about doing DLC after the game was fully launched?
I remember
Now
back a time where DLCs were known as sequels.
True that.
It
Yeah,
was
that's true
a fully
too.
fleshed game by itself.
Yeah. But like now what you see is as soon as this game gets announced, they're also like, yo, here's the season pass.
Here's the season pass, yeah.
You can buy the season pass, but you announced the actual game 10 minutes ago. Yeah. Yeah, we're
It's
quick.
like, here's the game and get it with the season pass so you never miss anything. It's just as much as the actual game itself, which is typically the case for Call of Duty games. But yeah, that's the
Yeah,
thing. Like,
super
no,
fun.
we don't have any proof of them making use of this technology and anything
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
But companies do not develop technology like this and patent technology like this not to use it. Because the amount of research that goes into technologies like this that are psychology based upon like thousands upon thousands of hours of research and whatnot by very expensive professionals, this is going to be used 100% in everything they make, where they're
Yep.
selling loot boxes and skins and stuff like that. It is going to be used like no holds barred in everything, and it will be very difficult for people to track because it's all going to be server side. It's not going to be in the actual game files because they don't want anybody reverse engineering this technology from the. And that's the way it's
Feels
going to be.
Bad, man. Oh well. What are you gonna do?
Because they track all your shit anyways, right? Like, and you're not going to be able to tell.
Right. Like I'm not one of those people who like won't realize that the games industry has changed and it is changing, and like companies need to come up with more and more ways to keep making money.
Well, they have to.
But like
game prices haven't changed.
Yeah, game prices haven't changed, but the cost to develop has.
Yeah, the cost of develop for games has ballooned hundreds of %. And
yeah.
I still remember when I was, 10, 12, buying games that were, $60, $70. I buy a game now, it's still $60, $70, and that's 20 years later. Like,
are we talking about
later.
how game price hasn't gone up and we should be paying more for our games to support the developers?
If people don't want microtransactions and stuff like that and DLCs, we would have to pay more up front.
You have to fucking deal with it and fork over more money at the beginning.
Right.
Listen. And what's really going to suck is for countries like Australia, where they already get dicked over completely by pretty much every company.
Pingu pays like $100 versus my like 60.
He's from Australia.
And anybody who's wondering, he's from Australia. They have a dollar that's worth a good amount of money, for one. It's not like their dollar is worthless.
Yeah. They're paying like $10 more.
More than that. Canada pays $10 more than you do.
Canada pays $10 more.
I think Australia pays $120. Australia pays something close to 50% more on some games than you guys do.
Oh my, that's a lot.
I believe it. I totally believe it.
On digital content.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about physical copies of the game. It's the same price whether you buy a physical copy or a digital one.
Yeah.
Now imagine that shit, because it don't cost no more money to send information to Australia.
Yeah.
Especially when
I
you can go over
mean-
to Japan and buy the game for less, and Japan's not that goddamn far.
No, you can
So
probably,
some
like,
people get,
motorboat
like
over.
some countries get really dicked over, but frankly, there's not much we can do. Like if you don't want to pay DLC money and you don't want to pay microtransaction money, companies need to make money to keep running because game development is expensive as shit. I mean, you're looking at, companies that a game like, Anthem or Destiny or Apex Legends, let's go with that. That one's free. You've got dozens, upon dozens of developers and whatnot working on that game. People in the games industry make good livings. These are people who are making 50K plus a year. So you've got to pay those salaries out. It might take you 3 years to make a game. So suddenly you're millions of dollars in the hole just from salaries. Not to mention technology-wise, licenses for engines and stuff like that. Games are expensive. And you've got to recoup costs quick.
Let's also point out that the price of games hasn't gone up
Right.
in the past.
They're
Thirty-
still
over-
$60.
Yeah, it's about 30 years. Over 30 years, they have not gone up.
30 is a good number to call it. So like price of games hasn't gone up in 30 years. But the size of teams which used to be between like 3 to 10 people is now, like, on a lot of AAA titles, upwards of 300.
Yep.
Like
Like just the quick math on that.
massive numbers.
Like you might have, like in the olden days, paid $100,000 for a salary for a game, right? For a year. Because, you've only got a few people. Now, you've got single people in the team who make $100,000 a year.
And you need to have every single
hundreds
part
of
of a team from beginning to end. You need to have specialists in every single field. You need to have, these are our voice actors. Here are our mocap actors. Here are our modelers, our textures, our animators, our programmers, our what is it?
And someone in Dale's chat brings up a good point. Sorry, you two, for not being able to see it.
Yeah.
I'll read it out. It says, what about the fact that the cost of games haven't went up, but the amount of content you get from a single game is way more? And that's true.
That is also true.
There are exceptions to that rule, though. There's a lot of games that launch
there
where
are
there's
exceptions,
there's
but
really not much there.
on average,
Let's point out that, like, you
let's
get
look at an old
Super
game.
Mario Bros. 3.
How long
right?
how long does it take to run through Super Mario?
Current speed run is at 1 minute.
Right. Let's go over. So you can run through, something like Mario. A normal average person can go through Super Mario Brothers, which was a full price game when it came out. I know because I bought it when it first came out.
You're old.
I am old.
I'm older than you, bitch.
Okay, sure.
That's an inside joke for people who don't know. So that was a full price game. Your average gamer can go through that game in 4 to 5 hours.
Not only was that not that a full price game, that was the gold standard when it came out.
Mario was the gold standard for length and difficulty.
Let's not just pass this up and say, oh, it's just a random game that we're picking out. Like, this is like actually you're getting your bang for your buck.
Yeah. People were super happy with how long the game was, how difficult the game was, everything.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at a game that I've been told is disappointingly short, which is Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts 3 gives you about a good 24 hours.
So 24 hours, and then there's also, side stuff to do. You can get all the best weapons, the secret boss, stuff like that.
Yeah, secret
So
endgame stuff.
my cousin went and did everything in the game, got all the best weapons, did all the side quest stuff, fought the secret bosses, etc., etc. It took him 37 hours.
Yeah, nice.
So, that's a much longer thing to make than, back in the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
now, people saying that a 20-hour game isn't worth it is just people being
that's another
ridiculous.
whole thing of
I
Like, I
had a
remember
And
really
the
dumb
best argument
conversation.
is always movies, right? That's the best way to deflate that argument. You spend $20 on a ticket to go to the movies.
I did. Oh God, I always feel like I have
Sure.
this conversation every time somebody mentions expensive movie tickets.
Hmm.
Where are you going? I pay
Okay,
like
now the
$5
standard- okay,
on a Tuesday
I
to go
pay
see a
like
movie.
okay, now you're going to a matinee at a that's
No,
different.
even if I go to like a normal day, I'm paying like I think $8 or $9 for a ticket.
Okay,
I
you
think it's
also
because I
live
live in a tiny
Illinois.
little town. I live in a
Um,
tiny town. I know.
Yes. Now I live in a tiny town as well. So much so that I actually have to travel half an hour to get to a movie theater
Yeah. Okay.
because there's none in my actual town. The tickets here are about $16 per.
Oh my. Ugh. Okay.
Um,
Is that Canadian though, or is that
that,
how you?
obviously.
Well, like I wasn't sure if you were contributing, exchange rates for us because you're nice and we're
So
stupid.
even if you do exchange rate, you're still looking at about probably $12.50 or so
Okay,
per
that's
ticket.
not too bad,
Which
really.
is not a bad price, but I don't go to the movies by myself.
Right. Oh, I don't either. Not
Yeah,
usually.
So
you go you
if I'm
and
going
that
to the movies,
1250 sounds about accurate for me.
and if
as well.
if I go to the movies, I'm buying 2 tickets because I take the girlfriend. A lot of people don't,
You're a
go to
gentleman.
movies by themselves. Also, because she does not like me going to movies that she wants to see without her. See, I wonder why. On top of that, you then have to generally buy a drink and snacks and whatnot. So you're looking at about, 20 to $30, on average to go see a movie. That's 2 hours. So in terms of, simple math, you're about $15 per hour. I can't remember a game that I have purchased where I've spent less than 4 hours playing it, where the game was $60.
Me
Because it
neither.
takes me longer than that to go through the
If you
story.
give me like 10 minutes, I can find a game that I've spent less
You
less
probably
time than that.
can.
Oh,
But
But
PUBG.
it's going to be a game. First of all, PUBG isn't a $60 game.
Okay, well, I spent 2 hours in PUBG, so it equates.
I bet I could
think
find
that-
a full priced game. Oh,
But
Call
if
of Duty
we're-
Infinite Warfare.
Okay.
Yeah,
Never
that,
bought
that
it.
was a
Never
full
bought
priced
it.
game that I never played again.
I don't think
so
I
that
could
was a
think.
bad
I don't
game,
know.
right? It's not a game that you wanted to put 20 hours. Right?
I
That
put
was a
more.
bad game.
I put like 6 or 7 into Fallout 76.
So if we look then at a 20-hour
That's
game,
called appeasement. That's not called joy.
So if we look at
I don't want
a
to talk
20-hour
about
game,
it
though.
anymore. I already opened a can of worms.
You brought it up.
I know I did. I know. I know.
All right, so if we look at a 20-hour game, then going by the math of $15 per hour is worth it because everybody agrees good movies are worth that much money to go see. Then, for a 20-hour game, you're looking at $300.
$300, huh?
But you spend $60. So, yeah, like games are, for 20 hours are definitely worth it. Games like Destiny or Division or Diablo or, Anthem, this games in this genre, you spend way more than that time in. So I don't, just to circle back to where we were originally, I don't get the hate. Like, I really don't. And what's
don't
worse,
either.
some of the hate I've seen is from people who complained about the game based on it not being a fun shooter because they were staying on the ground, shooting stuff, almost never using their abilities. And I watched a video of them doing this, playing as the Storm, which is a character class in Anthem where your whole deal, the special thing about your class, is to be in the air all the time because you get a damage reduction and stuff like that. They never use the Storm abilities, which is insane.
Yeah.
They just kind of sat there and shot stuff with a gun. And they're like, this isn't fun. Enemies are super spongy when I'm shooting them with this gun on the ground.
Yeah, hit them with a combo and tell me if they're
Like,
squishy.
they weren't using the combo system. They weren't using their special abilities. It was really... And then hear them go and complain, saying, like, look how boring this is. Oh, this isn't fun to do. They learned nothing. Like, this is like the Division, like with, when it first came out, with how spongy stuff is like,
I'm
what?
so
Like, what game are you
ready
fucking playing?
to play
Yeah,
some more
yeah, exactly.
Division
Learn how to
beta.
play.
Oh my. Like it's going into full beta or open beta.
What I
Um,
love
This
there's-
weekend,
too
do I
is,
get to play? I think.
it's Yeah, it's open beta on March
March 1st through the
Division
4th, and I'm gonna play
Yeah.
so much of it, and I'm gonna have a good time because I
Now-
missed the first beta. I didn't miss it. I played it a very small amount though.
I didn't
It's the
play it.
4th
I
with
missed it.
quotation marks because it's only like 4 a.m. Eastern time. It's open till on the 4th.
Oh, okay.
Just so it covers all the time zones, right? So everybody gets
Sure,
the
I
full
gotcha.
time zone for the weekend. But yeah, if you're looking to play Division 2 to give that a shot, here's an open beta coming. I played in the closed beta. The game is actually really
Yes, I played a few hours of the closed beta. I liked what I played, but that was Pokemon's week, so
yes,
play a
yeah.
ton
You
of
were
it.
playing Pokemon with the fiance there.
So yeah. All right. So
Now,
uh,
did
thoughts?
anybody look at things to
All
do?
right, so I have this indie show.
Oh boy,
Small show. You might have heard of it before. It's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh no,
God,
no,
no. No.
So Comfy came out with this concept that he's going to suggest JoJo's every week because he's an ass. So this might be a recurring theme, people,
Oh boy.
where he suggests
ready.
this show, and we were like, "Fuck you, Comfy." Okay.
You know, that makes me feel very good.
We'll humor you someday, maybe. Keep it
All
up.
right.
We
Well,
probably
then-
will actually will.
Oh,
humor it some more.
that's a show on my list. Let's watch Citrus.
Citrus.
Citrus?
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's
okay.
about lesbian sisters.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
that's the thing.
okay.
Okay, so we covered mech last week because it was a genre really that Dale hadn't touched.
Yes.
What else haven't we truly touched upon for Dale?
I
Now,
feel
there-
like I know where this
We
is
were gonna.
go.
That's one thing we were gonna talk about. We were gonna talk about the abridged stuff from YouTube
Oh, yes, of course, abridged series.
because that is not really an anime series, but it is extremely popular and it is using anime as its
Yes, it's
One.
using it as the medium to tell the story.
yes.
The
So
abridged
Dale, you're-
series?
Yeah, I was gonna say you're not familiar with this or the term. So
It's like it's
like
where
a
they take a
redub.
show and then they condense
it's a
it,
redub
right?
and recut of anime shows
Okay.
that
So yeah,
are
yeah.
a little different from their intended original purpose.
Isn't would you consider Brotherhood that? Full Metal Brotherhood?
No,
No. Okay.
That's a redo.
Okay.
So that's just a redoing of the story. So the abridged series, basically, they do things like
It's
Dragon
they're
Ball.
fan made
They're fan made. They're meant to be funny.
for the
And
most
they take-
part.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
and they
what we
take a-
were talking about. Yu-Gi-Oh. Are we gonna do Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh is one of them.
Please.
So that
I'm
is-
in. I'm down.
Because it kind of falls within the realm of anime stuff, and a lot of anime fans do watch these.
To Pokemon.
Um,
Masa wants Pokemon.
is
Now,
is
see,
there a Pokemon
I-
abridged?
I don't know.
I always lean on the side of either Helsing.
The girlfriend just
or
yelled at me. Yes, there is a
DBZ.
Pokemon abridged, so that is
Okay,
technically
all right.
possible.
You wanna watch I wanna watch Helsing or Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z,
I
let's
would-
do it.
I would
I'm
vote
in.
for Yu-Gi-Oh because it's so just out there.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'm in for either one of those two, honestly. Like I've always I want to watch Dragon Ball Z abridged anyway.
Now, hold
Because
on.
like
let
I've
me
always liked Dragon Ball Z. I know
over
a
to
decent bit about.
YouTube here. I
it-
want to see the average length of
but-
these shows, just because 3 is definitely not going to be.
Oh, are they
enough
the
to
show
publish
the
for.
the
Well,
episodes
so-
even shorter?
Oh, well, so if I pull up the Yu-Gi-Oh one, they're about an average of 4 minutes long.
So the Dragon Ball ones
Oh.
are about
10.
7 to 8 minutes long.
There you
So
go.
I should just look up Dragon Ball.
If you look up
um,
DBZ abridged,
And then some of the longer ones are like, 11, 12, maybe 19 at most.
Oh.
So these are
Yeah.
something we could kind of run through, like quite a few of them.
Oh,
really easy.
okay. We could
as I
do.
said, they're not. They're
don't
not
actually
long. So
play.
what we could do is, because they are so short, is run through
Does it tell you when the next
a
season
few
starts?
different ones. We could run through like 3 different ones
Oh,
and then
I
go
get
over
what you're
them.
saying. We could do Dragon Ball Z,
Right,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
because 3 episodes of Dragon Ball abridged are, that's like 1 episode of a normal anime, 3 episodes of something else. So you'd have a little more.
Okay, I get you.
Show
So then I
my
could kind of
watch
get a
would start
gist of what
seeing.
these
Right,
abridged are. Okay,
because
I'm in for
they
that.
all
I'd
little
be
different.
down. Now, if I were to watch this Dragon Ball Z abridged, would that actually be like, would I actually be able
You
to?
are for all
something?
intents and purposes watching the show. You'll get a general concept of what happens, but you're not going to get word for word what's going on.
Yes,
Okay.
and some of the characters will be very, very different.
Like Mr. Popo.
Oh.
Yeah, yes, like Mr. Popo.
Now, what was the actual
Right.
official
Maggot.
abridged thing that we were talking about? The Dragon Ball Z,
Oh, weird. The Dragon Ball Kai.
Kai. That would be something
That's-
worth your attention, like worth me to watch
That's,
more
that's a
than.
remake as well.
That's a
But
remake
it's a-
as well. It's a recut of the show. So they keep all the original stuff. They just recut the show so that it's shorter. And they're basically cutting out filler, and they're cutting down a lot of the fight scenes from the original, where guys would stand around yelling for like 2 episodes
I want to
to
watch
like
that.
a single fight.
Like, I
So
legit want to find that and watch it.
If you are gonna watch Dragon Ball, and I do recommend Dragon Ball,
I've
it's
been
a great
saying
show.
it for like ever, guys, that I need to watch.
Kai is the version I recommend to people, just because it is not, insanely long, and there's not a shit ton of filler that's not interesting and things like that.
It's also cleaned up.
Yeah, the animation is cleaned up too.
See, because
They
I know
go
that
through and like give it a whole treatment.
Super is on Hulu too. Like, this might be something I actually. Where can I find Dragon Ball Kai?
Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are on Crunchyroll as well.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z is?
Dragon Ball Z, I'm pretty sure is.
Okay, let me.
I know Dragon Ball Super is.
Yeah, I know Super is.
No,
So
I guess it's just Super.
Okay.
So, Comfy, you wanted to do Hellsing, right?
Hellsing has longer episodes. You'd only be able to do one, but it's
Yeah,
by
it's
the
only
same people that did
Super.
DBZ.
Oh man, there's already. Wait a minute. Why is it?
It's
Okay, on Crunchyroll it starts at episode 68. Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super.
That's odd.
You
Why?
say that? Let me see real quick.
Why? Okay, everything seems to be out of.
Dragon Ball
on
Super
here?
definitely starts at episode 1.
What am I? Okay, I don't. Maybe they're just out of order in this weird list that I got.
Maybe. I know Crunchyroll has this thing where.
Okay, here we go. I figured it out. It's
when they
like
add stuff,
I was at a like there was a weird list where it was all out of order. Okay, so there's
So,
already
fun fact,
131
they-
episodes of this.
You can't watch Hellsing abridged episode 1 by itself anymore. They bundled episodes 1 through 3,
That's why it's longer.
and it's 40 minutes long. Their
Okay,
episodes are
I'm-
longer because they do one annually. That's how they did.
Okay,
Hellsing.
I'm still willing to do Hellsing and Dragon Ball and
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh. Because I think that would give us a good cross section of
I
these,
think-
and it's
Well,
Okay.
because you get the long-running anime series, you get the long-running kids anime series, and then you have
a more
Hellsing,
adult,
which is
yeah.
a little more adult.
Okay.
And that's
So-
going to give you a good cross section of what these are and why people kind of like them.
Yeah.
Because as I said, this
There you
is
go.
something that is not technically anime per se. It is very much a fan kind of thing. Though fans do get involved a lot in shows, because fans are often where dubs come from, or not dubs, subs come from. For a lot
Fan
of shows,
subs are very common.
they are usually the first subs that come out online and stuff like that
That's
are
been-
done by fans. That's been the
been-
case for years and
It's
years.
been not that way recently, just because you're getting the simulcasting with Crunchyroll
Yes.
and Funimation
Now, is it
and
just
Verve.
Hellsing that I'm like Hellsing? What?
Hellsing
well,
Abridged, probably. Comfy will probably send you a link.
I can drop the link.
Okay.
We'll just drop some links to the
Here, I'll
to the
put
YouTube
it.
lists and stuff like that in the
I'll
Yeah.
just put it in the Weebs. Boom.
Okay. Cool beans.
That's
Cool.
the first 3 of that.
All right, so
That'll be interesting.
that sounds
because
fun. It'll be something different. It'll change things up quite a
They're
bit.
very different. Different is good. And as I said, these are things that a lot of anime fans love. This is something done by fans for other fans. And I don't think the creators really hate these things either. Like
It's
pretty
generally they generally like them.
they're usually pretty well received and enjoyed.
Okay.
There, I have put all of them in the Discord. They're all available.
So does Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, does that cover all of the seasons? How many seasons of that show was
So
it?
it's
Yu-Gi-Oh!
because it's like it's a third party making it. They only do so many episodes.
Yes.
They do also skip episodes because like you can generally condense stuff pretty easily.
Yeah, there's a lot, like especially with a lot of these shows, like One Piece, like Naruto, like Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball. There's a lot of
Dragon Ball, especially.
There's
yeah,
a lot
like
of
the
filler and
episode
stuff
where
where you
Goku and
gotta
Piccolo
cut.
got their driver's license. Yeah.
Yes. Now that's a funny episode, which is how I
Yeah, but
prefer my filler to be.
it's still filler.
It is still filler.
Yeah. By the way, so Yu-Gi-Oh is up to 82 episodes.
Is that still? That's not still going, is it?
Oh yeah, it's still going.
Oh, yeah.
The most recent
Really?
episode came out in December.
Yeah.
And the first episode, for example, just to show you how long it's been going, came out in 2009.
Oh, we're talking about the abridged. I meant like
Yeah.
like the normal Yu-Gi-Oh. Is that still not going on?
Yu-Gi-Oh
Yu-Gi-Oh
is
still
still
going
going
on,
series.
it's not-
It's just not the
not
it's
real
not like Yu-Gi
Yu-Gi-Oh.
anymore, right? They've kind of moved beyond him.
So
Oh.
I think they're back to Yu-Gi now. They're on some like multi-dimensional bullshit.
Okay.
I listen. Anything after the original Yu-Gi-Oh series is trash. Change my mind. But
I'm not gonna, because I want to ride motorcycles and play card games.
there you go. Oh my god! But they did keep the trend of all of their main artists having the dumbest haircuts possible.
Oh, for their main characters, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're currently running Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. That's a thing.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal? What the hell is that?
Zexal.
I don't know what that is.
No. Sounds like an XTD.
Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. What's the most recent episode that's... Oh my god. Most recent episode is 146. And that came out in March of 2017. So I guess they're done. I don't know.
Da, da, da. What were we?
I was looking up to see if Yu-Gi-Oh was still a thing.
Okay. Where can I can help? Da, da.
Yeah, I think this will be a fun...
Yu-Gi-Oh.com.
different
Oh
thing.
god, what did I do? Why are we here?
Oh, hello friend, welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh.com. Let's go to the characters tab.
Oh no.
Okay, I don't even recognize.
A lot of those characters?
I don't...
Yeah.
No, listen, it gives you Yami Yugi and Yugi Moto as the first 2 characters, and then nothing else makes sense until you hit Arcana.
Who's our? Okay, I recognize Arcana loosely.
Oh, but the next page is Bandit Keith.
Where's
Good.
Kaiba?
We fucking made it. Probably under S for Seto Kaiba.
Okay. All right. Way to be a dick.
Look, it's Maximilian Pegasus.
Wow, they really do list every single character that I don't even
Yeah.
recognize.
Mokuba. Oh man.
Wait, is there a guy with a crocodile on his back? I missed this episode.
Is there a guy with a
Is
crocodile?
it? The fuck?
Wait, what?
Oh, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. I never watched that one.
I
Okay.
found Seto Kaiba. We got it.
All right. Good. Oh my. I feel like
Education, 11th grade. Occupation, CEO of Kaiba Corp.
Nice.
Astrological sign, Scorpio.
What is his blood type not up
Okay, no, I just really quickly want to point out the bio has their birthday, not a year, because fuck that. Their education level, their occupation, their astrological sign, and their favorite food.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Some men ask why, some ask why not.
Oh,
Oh
man.
my. Oh, you can. Okay.
Oh, it's Merrick. I forgot about him. And Bakura. Also a main character.
Oh my. My childhood.
Oh, look, it's a Weevil Underwood. Who could forget? What a die.
Oh man, there was 5 seasons of like the original Yu-Gi-Oh. I could watch it all right here. Oh man.
It's on Netflix.
Wait. It is?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Actually, no, I know why. It's just,
Man, I could really torment Kaylee with this. She'd make fun of me the whole time. She would hate it.
It's
yeah.
time!
See, I have a much easier time than Dale does to grow up and watch things with me. She's even asked about when she gets to come on the podcast, so.
Oh yeah?
Mm.
I could I remember we were talking about doing that one time where we could find something that Kaylee might not hate.
Yes. In our case,
I'd still
it's
like
gonna
to
be
do
funny
that.
Kaylee doesn't hate. She's not a giant fan of anime, kind of like you. So, but at least you like some anime.
Yeah.
She's in the stage of God no.
Kaylee? No, it's not. Like, honestly, we were watching Goblin Slayer and she was like, oh, okay. All right. Like,
I
she
don't
didn't
think
hate
that's
it.
a good response, but as you wish.
Like, no.
Oh,
like,
I see what you're into.
Okay.
like, she didn't dislike Goblin Slayer from what she saw of it.
That's good.
So yeah.
Hmm.
All right, I've gotten 2 of my steps out of the 4 steps I need to do for the stupid quest.
Are you still you're grinding Anthem out in the background?
I
See,
am
I
still
was
grinding
playing
Anthem in the background.
Magic. Now I'm browsing all of my Yu-Gi-Oh waifus.
I finished off the 25 quick plays and the 25 con.
Oh my,
my
god.
God.
There's a guy whose name is Chaz Princeton.
I've got 8 more strongholds to do. and I
Chaz
need
Princeton. Oh my, he sounds like a real winner.
Look at him go.
I
one
need
more.
to Google this
Oh.
guy. All right.
Chaz. Who the fuck names
Just-
their
That's
kid
not the right
Chaz?
keyboard. Oh wait, it is the right
Okay,
keyboard.
Just
I just
going
didn't-
by the
never
name,
mind.
I'm gonna go white guy.
Ooh, very pale.
Very pale. Is he blonde?
No, he's got
Oh.
black hair, but it is
Ah.
spiked up like a jackass.
Okay.
I
Gonna be my
mean,
ex.
Comfy, are you? It's spiked up like a jackass. All right, let's just Google. We're gonna Google Yu-Gi-Oh characters, and there's gonna be 800 people with hair spiked up. So that's.
I don't think he got the joke.
Oops.
I think he's reacting as though this doesn't happen in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh well, look.
Hey, by the way, Masa, can you find me a way to play Yu-Gi-Oh on PC with my friends? Thank you.
What, the card game? I'm
All right,
pretty
let's
sure
go.
there's
Now
one.
we're looking at Steam.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Online. Trading card game online. Oh.
Oh, I found Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Is this a free way for me to play Yu-Gi-Oh! With my friends online?
Shit! Okay, yeah.
Oh my god, this
Oh,
is gonna
no.
be the end.
There's a lot of different ways to play this on. I found like 2 different websites just by a quick Google search.
Nice.
All right. So
Oh boy.
anyway, next week on Le Podcast, we're going to be talking about not 3 episodes,
This is up on Steam.
3 different animes. Yeah, I'm looking at Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. It looks
Duel
super
Links is up
cool.
on Steam and it's free.
Is that my end all be all? Is that what we're doing?
Baby.
Duel Links. We're gonna download this right now.
Oh,
Have fun.
what did I do?
Is this game relevant to you?
Duo World 5Ds is here. September 2018.
Oh my god, I have so many things that need to update. Holy crap. What the fuck?
Oh, in your Steam library?
Well, okay, so I literally had 10 things all just queue up and then finish their updates within like 12 seconds. But
that's fun.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is only 62 megabytes, so it's done. It's done.
It's small. It's mostly positive on,
Yeah, it's got like a 75%
It's got a
recently.
decent rating, so it can't
Yeah,
be awful.
it's not doo-doo. I
say
probably
that.
won't get it though. All right.
Probably won't buy it.
Get it.
You mean
As in
free game?
download it?
No, I'm gonna steer clear of that.
Yep.
I have enough things to
Not
play
gonna do
into.
it. All right. So anyway, next week's gonna be a unique episode because we were not going to be talking about 3 episodes. We're gonna talk about 3 different abridged animes. We're gonna do Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Hellsing.
And I'm
So that's
curious
cool.
about whether Dale's gonna continue with any of these as well.
I mean,
I
They're easy little
could-
bites,
I don't
right? Like
know.
it's
Yeah, like it's easy.
these are easy to keep up. Like there's a lot of them, but especially with like Yu-Gi-Oh and that, you can 2 here or there, and it's 5 minutes. Like it's a neat little thing to watch while you're grabbing a snack and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I'd be curious to see.
Initiate link.
All right. Well,
I
God,
accept
he's
the
starting to
terms
play
of
the game.
use.
Oh my god!
oh, are you already
You
playing?
need to turn your
Oh,
stream
no.
on if you're gonna.
Do it.
I need to go get food though in like 5 minutes.
Oh,
Walk across the street and get food. and come
Shout
back.
out to Dan Green, who's Yami Yugi and Yugimoto at the same time.
oh my! What a fancy
Shout out
person.
to Eric Stewart, who plays the part of Seto Kaiba. Shout out to Wayne Grayson for bringing us the iconic voice of Joey Wheeler. Darren Dunstan over here, bringing Maximilian Pegasus to life. Is this like the write-off? Like, do I just do this until we leave?
Yeah.
I mean,
Shout out to Sam Riegel, who plays the part of Rex Raptor.
Comfy, where can people find you on the internet? Jesus
You can find
Christ.
Todd Garble, the voice of Yami Merrick. Hi, I'm Comfy. You can find me at mixer.com/comfygamer, Twitter at @thecomfygamer, and that's the only places you can find me. I don't exist other places. Words.
Okay.
His Instagram is private and full of lewd photos.
What about your TikTok? I honestly don't even know what TikTok is. So I
You can
shouldn't-
find me on my
no.
TikTok at
Look what I did.
dabmaster420.
Oh, that's somebody's actual account. I know it is.
Oh, of course it is. Are you kidding me? Listen, I know whenever I sign up for a website, the first place I look
I am
is
googling that.
dabmaster420.
I'm actually googling that. Let's just.
Oh God!
Type
All right,
Dab
Copper,
Master
where can
420
where can people find you on the internet? Dogs,
There's a YouTube channel.
stop it!
I'm checking to see if there's not a Mixer channel for dabmaster420 yet. That's
Shout out to
free
Comfy for the
reign.
There is a
sign
Google
off.
Plus. There's a Twitter hit. There is a YouTube hit. I'm gonna press
Whoever makes dabmaster420 a Mixer account is my hero.
Dabmaster420 YouTube account. I found it.
Okay, all right.
That's the thing.
I
They
bet
have no
he's got the
subscribers.
greatest. I bet there's the greatest content there. Copper.
It's a lot of playlists actually for music.
Oh, okay. Well, where do you live on the internet there, Mr. Copper?
You can find me on Mixer at Copper Lion. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Copper Lion Art and Copper Lion Designs, respectively. Or if you just want to drop me an email because you're looking for graphics work, you can drop me an email at copperlinedesigns@gmail.com. Just finished a couple things this week. I'm working on some stuff for Comfy as well, because Comfy is going to be doing a little bit of a upgrade to his branding. And
I'm a fan.
I also finished off something this week I can't talk about.
Oh, you fancy.
Because it hasn't been announced yet. It is. You'll know it when you see it, I think.
Okay. Cool.
And Dale, where can people find your potato-ness?
My potato-ness. It's your Royal Potato Highness now, apparently.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Has somebody called me that? Probably. They always making fun of me for being a potato. Anyway, you can find me mixer.com/Mr. Vengeance. Twitter and Instagram are Mr. Vengeance X7. Yeah, they're.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, and go watch the shows that we're gonna watch. Should be
a good time. I'm looking forward to having like 3 different things to talk about. It'll be a little bit different.
But a little different, yeah.
Pretty cool. All right, so that's gonna do it, guys. Have great weeks. We'll see you next week. Bye.